Are you sure? Are you positive? Ah. Oh, nothing. Just, I don't know, being my normal dick self. Oh, no. It's relaxing. Yeah. I, it's very similar to the Harvest Moon, but the graphics remind me more of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And, and there's a lot of depth to the game that's surprisingly just not on the surface. But it's a game that you have to put time into. I mean, you don't have to fucking waste your way on it, but you can't kind of stop in the middle of a day. Like each day is about 20 minutes, so it's like I don't. But that doesn't 20 minutes our time, yeah. Well, it's really just a game to just unwind with. I mean, it's regards to like is yeah, like if you want to ask if there's a story to it, yes there is, but I mean there's not much of a story. Basically, it's kind of. Did you ever play Animal Crossing? Well, that's the thing is like so it's really about managing your time and stuff. I mean, it's not a bad, thing to really play to kind of. Right, yes. So that is a big difference right there, yes. But gameplay wise it's about the same. I mean, the premise to the game is, your grandfather died and left you some property in this town that you've never been to. So you go to the town because your life fell apart, and you move to this property, and then basically it's a farm, and so you start because you have nothing else to do with your life, you start trying to rehabilitate the farm. Yep. And as you rehabilitate the farm, you're to get further in the game and get like different recipes and different like customizable items, you have to build relationships with the people in the town. And that's really what it is, and it's like and it's just interesting, like because as your relationships grow with the people, your the success of your farm grows, and you know there's like a subplot to the game where like there's a big corporate like Walmart in town, and then there's a small shop, and they kind of make you pick your battles there, where like it's a situation where I could shop at the smaller store, and he'll give me discounts, and he'll give me kickbacks on the money, but no, you shop at the big store. They're pretty much open all the time. The small stores aren't. Like a small store, he's like, it's they just added co-op to the PC version. It's coming to the console for free. Yeah, no sweat. I mean, it's well, that's the thing is like when it comes to fucking you, well, that's the thing is like I didn't patch things up with him. I basically just I didn't cut him off. Oh, and I lost you. I've never actually heard the sound effects for this before. Welcome back. What the fuck? Here, I'm gonna do this. Let's see. I'm just convinced the connection you and your brother have are fucking possessed. Yeah, that's. It's like I have. It's been interesting. Like PSN has always been kind of constant for me, but when it comes to Xbox Live has been like night and day. Like the place I lived in Salem, fucking phenomenal. Blew PSN out of the water. Everywhere else I've lived, complete shit. It drives me fucking insane. And, and I've fucking called Comcast and I called Microsoft, and both times like, oh, it's not us, it's them. It's past the buck. Well, it's partly part of the reason why they don't fucking try and do the whole whatchamacallit, uh, have the networks talk to each other. So yeah, so I haven't really patched. They left me alone. They didn't send shit to me, but they fucking bombarded your brother. And that's and like when it comes to Tano, like I haven't patched things up with him. I just haven't cut him out of my life. I mean, it's a situation where it's like I don't really do that to people. Like Ryan is a very special, Ryan asked for it, so Ryan got what he wanted. Tano, I was trying to be, magnanimous, being like, if I don't block him, he's going to do a lot of really stupid shit and make this situation worse, and I don't want to have that happen. So I'm going to protect myself and protect Tano from being Tano. That's how I looked at that shit. So when I finally unblocked him, I'm like, it's like, motherfucker, I was trying to stop you from being you. But I mean, even still, like, I haven't played with him since that night, and he like hopped into a party the other day that I was like having a private conversation with, and so he backed out because he felt uncomfortable. But I mean, Tano has his issues, and it's like honestly, like I don't see myself putting really a lot of effort into that. It's like if he wants to play a game that I'm playing with my friends and he wants to come along, okay, sure, that's fine. But if he creates drama and shit, I don't need it. I mean, I was telling your brother the other day, like, the best thing about this whole situation is the fact that it shows once again that you should always go with your first instincts. Because my first instinct on Tano is that he was a dick. You know, I was fucking telling Sue, it's like, the very first time I fucking met Tano, I was playing Friday with fucking him, Tano, and some other people. You might have even been there. And what fucking ended up happening, and it was and I was telling Sue, like, this is one of the this is the first time I fucking played where Jason was AFK and it was Sue. And I'm like, fuck it, let's get this prick. You know? Oh no, 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 not even that. Not even that. Because I don't take that shit seriously, because I don't care about that stuff. You know, what happened this particular night was, so this is the very first night I met Tano. So we turn around and like, everyone's scared to go fucking try and kill Jason. I'm like, guys, no, Jason's AFK. Like I barely knew Stu at this point. I'm like, he's AFK. Fuck it, let's get him. I'm going to take this opportunity. Like that's back when killing Jason was difficult. It's like, if you're going to be AFK, I'm sorry, I'm coming for you. And so the whole, so eventually, like these other people started getting into it and stuff. So everything started going well. So someone finally came back as Tommy Jarvis because we had to explain that someone had to die, and people were reluctant to die. So fucking someone finally comes back as Tommy Jarvis, and he comes running up to the party, and Tano runs up to Tommy Jarvis and shoots him in the face with a shotgun. And this was I don't remember. All I know is it took fucking forever to get everyone coordinated to do this shit. I like seriously first time playing with Tano, maybe like the third time I played with your brother. And he fucking Tano just turned out and blasted him in the face. And then we get back into the lobby, and Sue's like, "What happened? What happened?" And Tano's like, "Oh man, they tried to fucking kill you, but I saved you. You know, I fucking helped you." And I'm like, "Actually, no, you were a real bitch. You went along with the whole thing right to the end and fucked us." And I was kind of like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing is like he, it's yeah, that's the thing he does. Like, yeah, it's like Tano, like you're pretty much here so we kill you. Like that's almost your role now. Like we invite you to the game so we can fucking kill you. Yeah, he's in there with fucking what's his name? Fucking I was playing shit with Niners. I was playing with him yesterday. Yeah, I was actually. it, if you go to my YouTube shit, I was streaming fucking playing with him yesterday, and literally like you can actually see a point in the game where like we actually get marked because I can't hear. Like I pulled up someplace in the fucking truck. We both hopped out, and all of a sudden we got shot. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? And literally, not only did this other truck come in behind us, but it drove right into our truck, so I didn't even hear it crash into our car. I was playing H1 at the time, but fucking like I was fucking pissed. I'm like, I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna get mad at this dude. It's not his fault. He's got a life. But I'm like, motherfucker. But but no, like when it comes to Tano, like it's not worth the effort. I would just tell you to do what you think it feels right. Well, that's his thing. It's like like you know, ah, I don't know, man. It's hard to really kind of get into sometimes. I'm kind of distracted too at the point also, but it's Tano is what Tano is. You're actually a really good kid. You're definitely more forgiving than I am, but I'm more jaded at this point because I've seen more shit. But I mean, it's just it, it. I know it does, but I mean, like, but it's. I'm not saying this is an insult. Like, it's a compliment. I mean, it's really hard to be, to have a sense of optimism with the way the world is. And so, and the fact that you're willing to put up with Tano's bullshit and Drunk Norse's bullshit says a lot about you, and the fact that they're so unbearable says a lot about them. That's what I'm saying. It's like so when it comes to Tano, I'm not putting any effort into that shit. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm waiting for the day that he's going to start fucking with me when I'm trying to play with Sue, and I'm going to have to put him down, being like, dude, no, this is not how this shit works. Because it's coming. It's because it's what Tano does. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like I said, man, it's all fucked. No, I got you. Yeah, I am. Well, it looks good, and I got a friend that's really been into this series for a while. Like he's kind of, you know, he's convinced that Rockstar is gonna fuck it up somehow by introducing flying cars. But he's just jaded at the moment. I mean, that's just his thing. Yeah, because he's like, well, they added the GTA. I'm like, yeah, but they added the GTA 5 fucking years later. You know, like they kept that game alive. I mean, that's honestly, you should be fucking that. Well, I could see them eventually doing it because of it's just the same thing as adding the DeLorean. They'll add the flying train. It's, mm, okay. Like I said, I'm interested in it, but I've always been against Rockstar, so it's going to be kind of a stretch. It's going to be difficult for me. I know that. Yeah, Manhunt's a title I think they could have focused on, but given its subject matter, I don't think that game will ever fucking get a sequel. Yeah, Manhunt 2, I'd even bother with it. Oh, I'm just getting my day situated. I mean, the day's almost over, so I'll be free to do something else in a minute. I'm just organizing my shit before I call it a day. Literally, that's literally what I'm doing. Yeah, I mean, yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff I get into. Like, so, I mean, I'm all into like designing my farm and shit. Like right now it's winter, so winter, like, my crops aren't growing. So this is usually the time of the year where I'd be going to the mine. No, they're fall. Nothing grows in winter, but that's one of the missions. I eventually unlock a greenhouse so I can grow stuff 20 all year long, but it's small. But it's like but I like winters are designed where basically I'm supposed to use winter to go to the mines and start mining things for like gemstones and stuff to craft things, so I can craft the stuff I need to make my farm bigger. Mm. The year is 4 months long. In each season is 1 month. So so 20 minutes a day. So 20 minutes times 28 days typically. Yeah, only while you're playing. Yeah, it's not perpetual. Yeah, it only runs while you're there. So like that's why like I'll log in, I'll play like a day, and I'll stop. But the thing is that usually, oh, an explosion was heard in the night. That means I had a meteor crash somewhere on my fucking farm. Um, it's not necessarily bad. It just doesn't. Basically, like so I was mentioning before, like you have to go to the mines to, you know, get the materials you need to craft like the stuff you need for the farm. one of the elements that you need that's considered slightly rare is called iridium. It's only in the high level parts of the mines. It's yeah, it's it's an actual element. It's whatchamacallit. It's radioactive. But but no, so eventually, sometimes, like, depending as you're playing, like, a meteor might crash on your farm, and it's basically a meteorite of fucking iridium. And it just looks cool. Like, I'm actually trying to find it right now because I heard it crash, but I just can't find it. The only thing that was stuck right now is that I kind of have my farm really set up the way I like it. And if a meteor crashes, it's probably going to crash into something I don't want it to. And I can't find it. It's got to be over here on the left. There's also different layouts for the farm, so like there's 4 different themes. There's like, oh yeah, see, it landed right over here. I'm glad I fucking cut that tree down. Kind of wish this was in a different spot, but whatever. Yeah, so it crashed but didn't destroy something that I cared about. But what was I saying? Fuck. It's really weird. I don't usually have the volume on when I play this, so this is like the first time I'm hearing the music. It's fucking me with me. It's very mellow. But no, there's 4 different layouts of the farms. There's like the difficult farm, the easy farm, the river farm, and they just have different plus and minuses, you know? But I mean, like I said, it's a game I like to play and unwind to. The only downside is that at the end of a day, I'll have a plan set up for what I want to do the next day, and it's very difficult to stop playing and not continue forward. Like, pulling myself away is difficult. Yeah, now, thankfully you can pause it and shit. But I've done just about everything you can do in the game at this point. The only thing I haven't done is, like, two trophies that are kind of stupid. That don't have anything to do with the actual game itself. Run, bitch! Run! You know, like, one of the cool side missions they had in this shit is, like, as you're running around, there's these little tiny squiggly lines that pop up on the ground sometime. They look like worms sticking their head out of the ground. And if you dig there, sometimes you unlock what they call an artifact. And there's a museum in town. You can go in and trade in the artifact, and basically they put this shit on display. So you get this museum down in the corner of the map of all these different things that you found. It's like I was talking to fucking, whatchamacallit, thought about playing this game. He's actually interested in it, but he just hasn't played it. I'm assuming he's just got other shit going on. I mean, which I would, you know, because I know one yeah. Well, that's why he won't play fucking first-person shooters, you know? I mean, I like him. I mean, I mainly play H1, you know, just to chill with your brother and shit. You know, I'd much rather be playing Friday with everybody if Friday wasn't fucking such the shit show it is now. Yeah, like I said, I don't see myself really playing it, you know, by myself anytime soon. Like, the biggest reason why I got a external hard drive that's fucking huge, so I just, you know, once I download a game, I just keep it downloaded. Yeah, I gotta fucking. Yeah. It's like, I'm bummed out that they're releasing that special edition PS4 Pro with the fucking 2 TB hard drive. It's translucent blue. It's like a gigantic dark blue but clear PlayStation 4 Pro. Looks gnarly. It's just, I think the same price as always, but it's just very limited edition. There's only going to be 50,000 worldwide. But I mean, a long time ago, I upgraded the internal hard drive of my PS4 to a 2 TB, and that's been perfect for me. I got the PS4 Pro. I wasn't even aware there was a second-gen PS4 till recently, actually. One of my friends told me, he's like, yeah, it's got physical buttons. I'm like, fuck you. He's like, no, really, it does. No, I got the PS4 Pro because I have a 4K TV. I have a 4K HDR TV, so I want it to look as good as possible. But regards to the hard drive, I upgraded to 2 TB, and even that shit filled up because like I said, I would download shit and not delete it. And then I started doing the fucking videos for everybody, and that started taking up a lot of space because I'd have fucking just gigabytes of fucking video stored on this shit. It got to the point where had to limit myself to 5-minute clips because I started doing the 20-minute clips, and I literally just didn't have the time or patience to go through all the videos to find the fun stuff. But then I turned around, I went online when I came into that little bit of money I had this year, and I decided to get myself a external hard drive, and I went out and got myself a 4 TB external hard drive. It has a faster spin rate, so the games load faster, and it's also USB 3.0, so it loads onto the system faster as well. So my load times are pretty good. Like, the only way I could make it any better is to put a solid state drive in the system, and I don't really want to do that. At least not yet. Because I have thought about doing an internal solid state drive. That way I could keep it small and just put the essentials on it, and the load times would be insane. But then I realized I don't really have a lot of money, and there's going to be a new generation of consoles soon. Fucking. I was talking to a friend earlier today. I have this ability to being either, like, really, really mean or just mean. Usually when I don't mean to be. And fucking, she's going through some shit right now, and I had to fucking yell at her because she was being a baby about it.
Depends on what it was.
You love the dick, bitch.
I do? That's all. That's really all he came in here to say? Okay. But no, so she's really bad at life. Like, she just makes the worst fucking decisions ever. No, she really is. So basically what's going on right now is that her landlord is refusing to let her and her mother redo the lease on their apartment. And the reason why he's for not allowing them to renew the lease is because they haven't paid rent in a year because the place is a shithole. Which in math, I guess so. I don't know. All I know is that, like, I had to call her on the phone and be like, look, like, this dude has all the right in the world to not renew your lease. You have the right not to pay rent if he's a shitty landlord, but he has the right to not let you fucking stay there anymore if your lease ends. He doesn't have to keep you. And so fucking, she's freaking out because now she's like, I don't have a place to live, blah, blah, blah. Me and my children are going to be homeless. And I'm like, what did you do with the rent for the past year? Like, you should have a year's worth of rent sitting in the bank somewhere. I mean, did you think they were never gonna ask you for the rent, even if you fucking won this shit? Landlord fixed the place. You know, you're gonna have to pay him rent. And she gave me all these excuses and shit. But basically, what it boils down to is, she's like, I'm gonna be sleeping in my van with my son, and no one's offering to help me. And I'm like, well, I'm not letting my godson sleep in a fucking van. So worst comes to worst, you could spend a couple weeks here, but you can't move in. It's bad enough right now, like I'll be endangering my lease by letting you stay here, but that's my godson. There's no fucking way in hell I'm letting him sleep in a fucking car. And she kind of broke down and shit. But of course, with my positivity comes my negativity, and I'm like, by the way, you need to stop posting all this, like, this drama shit on the internet because you're basically turning off all the people that you're asking to help you. Hey, it's my ducks. What's up, ducks? Fuck you, duck. As with most games, Stardew has little secrets and shit in it. And randomly one day, like, I was digging stuff up and I found a dinosaur egg. Turned out I could incubate that shit and I got myself a dinosaur. It's a little baby dinosaur about the size of a chicken, but it's a dinosaur. Because it's the size of basically a duck. It's like, I don't know, like, it's just like a thing they have in the game that you can get. I mean, I could keep hatching them, and now that I've got one, he keeps laying eggs, so I could keep catching more and selling them to make some money on them. Otherwise, they're really just a novelty. Like, turns out their eggs are worth less than fucking chicken eggs, and I don't know. The in-game economy. Right now, I'm going through petting all my pets and feeding them. Like, I got bored, I got a stable full of fucking rabbits, and I named them all after fucking Star Trek characters. Now see, I have 4 pigs, and I'm just wondering if I should sell them for the winter and get the money for them, because how much would I make off them? I would make $20,000 on this pig if I sell him. But but in the springtime and summer and fall, they dig up fucking truffles for me, and truffles are awesome. It's just the stuff that appeals to I can get stoned and be like, should I do that? Now I'm milking my goats and my cows. I think that one just farted on me. That's nasty. Okay. Ah, some iridium stuff. Not bad. They must be really happy. Ah, shit, I lost track of my horse again. It's like I had to yell at her, man. It's like, so this same chick, maybe, maybe not. You never know. At least you try. As, at least yelling at her made me feel better. Because, like, seriously, like, I'm just yelling at her, being like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, you're going on Facebook begging for $5,000 for a place to live. That's not going to solve a fucking problem. That's just going to, postpone shit. But I don't know. Oh. I'm just going to sell this shit. Nah, don't throw that away. It is a bit much. And part of the problem why like I yelled at her was like, it's like you do realize you've done 3 GoFundMe's in the past year. And the last two, like the first one she did was actually successful, where she basically begged and pleaded for people to give her money so she could get a service animal for my godson because he's autistic. But and I was like, it's like, that's first of all, like, he has never wanted a dog. For some reason you have it in your head that he'd be better off with a dog, you know, is kind of a fucked up thing, but she managed to convince enough people to give her money and she got a dog. Now for the past couple years, this dog spends its entire life in a little tiny cage in the kitchen because they live in a shitty apartment that's too small for a dog, but yet she's in this tiny apartment with her mother, herself, and two of my god kids. And then she gets this fucking dog that can't fucking fit. So every time I go and see this dog, like its hair, it's all matted, it looks all fucking sad, it's freaking out because it wants to get out of the cage, and they're like, "Oh, he can't come out," and I'm like, "But why'd you get a dog if you're just gonna keep him in a cage all day? Like you shouldn't have him." But they asked for all, but they asked for all that money, and they got that dog. Then like 6 months later, she asked for more money for the dog because they wanted to train him to be an autistic dog. Or sorry, autism special dog, whatever. That didn't go through. Now they're asking for money so they have a place to live, and fucking people are ignoring them. I'm like, do you blame them? I mean, like you ask for money all the time. It's like in one breath you're asking people on Facebook for $5,000, and in the next fucking post I'm seeing pictures of you all over fucking Boston Comic Con with my fucking god kids. And talking about how you met Christopher Lloyd. Like, yeah, that's awesome, but that tells me you don't need money. Now I'm like, I understand that you were probably working the fucking Comic Con. She's like, I was. I'm like, okay, yeah, but see, that's because I know you. I knew this. You didn't say anywhere that you're working Comic Con. All you're doing is fucking posting pictures of fucking all these celebrities and shit and talking about how like Jason Momoa hit on you. It's like I don't fucking care. That's like I just let loose on her being like, you're fucking projecting the wrong shit, and then and you wonder why no one's fucking helping you. I don't know. I mean, this is the same woman where so my godson was an accident. Like he was not supposed to be there. And not only was he not supposed to be there, she had him with a guy that was legally separated at the time, which so he was married, he just wasn't living with his wife. So as soon as he knocked up, so basically my friend ended up going to the hospital one day being like, I have this really solid lump right here in my abdomen and it really hurts. Like, what's going on? So the turnaround doctors ran tests. Is like, oh, by the way, you're 8 months pregnant. Actually, no, she was 9 months pregnant. She was 8 months and like a couple of weeks. Like she was pretty much ready to pop. Had no idea because as she was gaining the baby weight, she was dieting and losing weight. So basically, they were balancing the two out. So she actually, the weight she lost, she gained in baby weight. But needless to say, I still had the whole "how could you not tell you were pregnant" conversation with her. Unf- yep, I know. But turn around and so fucking he so as soon as he found out that she was pregnant, he disappeared. Like he was out the fucking door. You know, because he's like, fuck this shit. I'm trying to get back with my wife. But in the same respect as like, but then when like,